Hey there, folks. I want to talk to you guys about a common thing I hear from multiple business owners or people that work in a business, and a lot of it comes down to time. Ultimately, when it comes to starting a business podcast, a lack of time is really the main thing that people are concerned about. Either being worried about being on camera, which is a totally separate thing, or a lack of time. And so I want to thank Patricia and Caitlin from Pushing the Envelope. Thank you for kind of getting my gears going and putting this together. We've also put together an article that shows you how you can do this for your business. But I really want to put this out to people who want to start a podcast, but don't have the time to do it for their business. So I put this together and I don't know if you can tell, this is a plateau. So this is kind of where a lot of people are before they start. And then this is really where you want to be. So if you know the value of starting a business podcast, if you see that this can increase sales, position you as an industry leader, it can create your marketing content. You have all of the things that you know that this can be. You know all the ways that this can serve your business, but you don't really know how to get there. One of the biggest issues is because time is, well, it's not renewable, but this will often take people way too much time, especially if you try to do it on your own. But worrying that, hey, I got to do something every week. I have to make sure that I'm spending 2, 3, 5 hours a week going through filming, editing, doing all these things. And it really comes down to the time is the biggest enemy in this case. You have to research, buy, learn the equipment. You have to find a recording space. You got to develop the topics. You have to research and schedule guests, edit and the video, edit the audio, distribute it to the different channels. So these are the main things that I've seen that prevent people from getting to where they want to be. This is where you are. All of those things are the main blocks from where you want to be. You guys get it. I don't need to beat that dead horse. So, the reason why I put this together is I wanted to show you one way that you could do this in less time than you think. This doesn't have to be something that takes 5 hours a week that you feel like, hey, I'm doing this. I want to grow my business, but does it make sense to spend all this time on a podcast when I can literally call people? I can literally film other videos. I can spend time focused on the things that are important to me that I know will actually move the ball forward in my business. Should I spend time on those? And I say yes, but also here's how you can kind of have the best of both worlds. Record 4 episodes in 3 hours and do that once each month. And so instead of trying to do this every week, drive somewhere, take the time, or stop your day and record things, do all of this in one chunk and block out a 3 hour chunk of time. And here's a quick schedule that shows you how you can actually do this. So for 30 minutes, record episode 1, take a break, record episode 2, 3, and 4. And if you do this in a chunk, especially if you keep these episodes shorter, you can really knock out 4 individual episodes in a 3 hour chunk. And I'll show you what this can turn into. But I just want you to know that it's possible to actually go through and create this and have it all in one single day, in one single session. And why would you do 4 episodes each month? Because this allows you to set a cadence of 1 episode per week that goes out. And so, in my case, why I like this is it does build consistency for your audience. It does create more content for your marketing team and it keeps your hosting skills sharp. So, one thing that you'll notice as you get into this, um, as you interview people and as you start to do these episodes, the more of them you do, the sharper you get, the faster you can think on your feet, the better questions you can ask. By doing this at least once a month, you stay sharp versus once a quarter or once every 6 months. Each time you're going to be on Bambi legs. So this will keep you a little more sharp than every once in a while doing it. Um, the content for the marketing is what I'll show you next, but also for your audience, this builds consistency in terms of they can expect something once a week. Maybe they'll skip a week, but they know that they can come back to it. And that's actually pretty good for an audience to keep things moving, to keep things growing. That's what we've found, at least. It's not a hard and fast rule. Don't take that as gospel, but it's a good thing to practice. So this is why I say record 4 episodes. And if you can do this in 3 hours, you can create this right here that you're looking at is 72 posts on your different channels. I'll break this down here real quick. So in 3 hours, I showed you that schedule. So in episode 1, we record a 30-minute episode. I put the full episode out on video and audio, so YouTube and then Spotify and Apple. I create a blog post from this, and that can just be even the video, or you can do a quick write up that summarizes it. And then I can create 5 video clips. But that doesn't stop at the 5 video clips. You can then put those 5 clips on LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, or whatever other channels. But I'd say at least 3 because 3 is doable. But that turns 5 video clips into 15 posts. And that's from one episode. So that's you sitting down as a business owner for a half hour recording this. You get 15 posts, a blog post, and then a video and an audio episode. That's in 30 minutes. Now do that 1, 2, 3 more times. You do this 4 times. That's 72 different posts that you can put out in the course of a month. So in 3 hours, you have a shitload of content that you can put out and start rolling this out. And it's you that gets to be the one that delivers this message. So if you have any questions on this, please reach out. But this is how we got 165,000 views on our business podcast. Right here is one of the main ways that we did it. I'll probably just do a separate video on this so you can see it. On the production side, this is where my business comes in. So in order to do this, you do need to keep production off your plate as a business owner. Otherwise, this really won't work. If you start doing this, you can do the recordings yourself, but you're not going to keep your time commitment down to 3 hours. It's going to be probably closer to 25 hours. You can still do all the recording in 3, but the production piece will probably be about 25 hours total. So you can hire a company like ours. We'll guide you through the whole process, but we'll also handle this production piece. So that way you don't have to worry about this. Or if you hire like an in-house videographer to handle the production, like I said, anticipate about 25 hours for an in-house videographer that's working. But make sure that you have somebody that can take care of the production. Because if you're a business owner and your issue is that you don't have time, and then you try to do all of this on your own, you are definitely going to run out of time and you will not stay doing this podcast. I can guarantee it pretty much. If you want, I'll bet you a bunch of money on it, or you'll lose and I'll make that money, or I can work for that money and actually get you some return on your investment. So if you can say to yourself, okay, 3 hours is feasible, then what's the next step? So the next step is actually moving towards doing it. So you want to start asking yourself, you want to start asking your team, what goes into the podcast? What's the content of it? Who would be the ideal guest? What topics would be valuable? You can also talk about things that are trending in your industry that most people don't know. Again, this is the thought leader, the industry leader piece. And then some of the questions that your customers ask all the time, because if they're asking it, somebody's going to find that information valuable. So this is pretty much it. So if you're too busy to start a podcast for your business, this may be the solution that you've been looking for. Because if you don't do it, you're still in the same spot. You're still not increasing sales. You're still not being the thought leader that you want to be. And this is the way to get around that time restriction. So if you have any questions, please reach out. Happy to help here. But otherwise, thanks, and I will see you tomorrow.